Welcome Enzo Barrenechea and Samuel Iling Jr. to Aston Villa. Two absolute rising ballers coming from Juventus to Aston Villa. Really exciting. Loads of scope for development. Youthful, exciting. And I feel like these are going to be two very fun players to watch, to look at, to see how they grow, but also to see how they adapt as well. Iling Jr., left winger / wing back, really dynamic, had a real good end to the season with Juventus. Barrenechea, 23 years of age, defensive midfielder. His overall game, Kamara role, loves a tackle. So it's going to be great to see how he can develop in a Villa team as well. So what we normally tend to do is we tend to have a look at, when we get new signings in, how they can fit into the Villa side. And I think this one's going to be a little bit more difficult to see how they particularly fit in straight away. I think Samuel Iling Jr. for me will fit in pretty seamlessly. I think he'll be able to adapt to the Unai Emery system. I think if we need him to play as a wing-back, he can potentially do that role. If he can play on that left-hand side, he can definitely do that role as well. So I'm really excited to see how he does. Barrenechea may need a little bit of an adaptation period to life at Aston Villa, but that's not a negative. That's not a down. Like, it's not a downfall of the player. It's not a downfall of the transfer. It's just an understanding and adaptability in a period of time that some players take adapting to Premier League football. Some players can just come in, take to it like a duck to water. Other players need a little bit of time. We can look at Youri Tielemans last season in last window and you think, okay, Youri Tielemans scored in the FA Cup final, won Leicester the FA Cup, Belgian international. He'll fit in straight away. Doesn't always work like that. He had to go through the Unai Emery schooling as well. So with every player, it's going to take that little bit of time, that little bit of period to see how they settle in and develop. Some players will develop and settle in really quickly. Other players might take that little bit more time. Morgan Rogers, straight in. First name on the team sheet now. Settled in perfectly. Understood the role. Had a real good period from January towards the end of the season. So you can already see that different players take a little bit of different times on how they're going to settle in. But Barrenechea, from what I've seen, I'm not seeing a lot of him. From the clips that I've seen, from the sort of little tactical pieces that I've seen, he's a player that can really bring us something a little bit different and hopefully aid us without Boubacar Kamara. So we don't know when Kamara's back, probably in and around November, December time. So it's going to be good to hopefully get to see how Barrenechea could grow into this Unai Emery system as well. But Iling Jr., we need to say no more. The kid's exciting, 20 years of age. One that I think we all get excited by youth, but I think when you're starting to take the best youth products from teams like Juventus, that sort of gets me excited as well, because the Juventus fans do not want to lose Barrenechea and they did not want to lose Iling Jr. as well. So that tells you everything that you need to know about the two players that have come into Aston Villa. So we've done all this on Transfer Hubs, but it was a little bit of a while ago. So we'll have a little bit of a recap on what both players are, what are their strengths, where do their key numbers lie. So we'll start off with the one that's got me most excited. Barrenechea's got me excited as well. I love those like specialised defensive midfielders. I do like those types of players, but we all know, give us a tricky winger, give us a striker, and football fans already sort of get excited about those types of players. So, right, let's go then. Samuel Iling Jr., 20 years of age. Of course, he's left-footed. So in Serie A last season, he had a SofaScore rating of 6.83. He played 24 games, started 4. He scored 1 goal and he's got 2 assists. His accuracy per game was at 79%. In his own half, 83%. Opposition half, 71%. He's got 1.7 ball recoveries per game. He's got 47% total duels won, 43 ground duels, and aerial duels was at 75%. But you can see that towards the end of the season, a 7.3, a 7, and a 7.2 for a 20-year-old in Serie A for Juventus. Those were good games that he had for Juventus. So really impressive. We've already spoke about the left-hand side where he can play. Wing back, left midfield. I'm imagining that he could possibly play in the Ramsey, the Rodgers role on that left-hand side. Or we might see a new system from Unai Emery over the course of the summer. So we'll stay tuned to that during pre-season. We'll have a look at what the patterns are and we'll figure out the system as we go. So really exciting all over this one. So Enzo Barrenechea, and we have a 6.83 sofa score rating. Heat map, you can see absolutely everywhere. He played 36 games, started 32 of those games. We have got passing accuracy of 86%, accuracy in his own half, 91%. We have got ball recoveries per game, 6.4, which is huge. We've got clearances per game, 1.6. Tackles per game, 1.8. The kid loves a slide tackle. We've got successful dribbles at 50%, ground duels won at 56, total at 56, and aerial at 56. So both have that aerial presence, that aerial dominance. And we're starting to see younger players coming in as well, which is something that you guys at home will know that I've spoke about quite a lot. So I think this one is a really exciting bundle of players that are coming in. We know the reason why they're coming in. So it's now about time to get behind them, back them, and see how they can grow and how they can flourish for Unai Emery at Aston Villa. So I'm buzzing about these two as well. It's really exciting. Villa fans, let me know your thoughts. Up the Villa.